In a surprise to no one, AI is moving faster than human speed. In Australia, 82% of businesses with 200 to 500 staff have already adopted some form of AI tool. But here's what's also happening. 68% of people say they're struggling with the pace and volume of work, and 46% say they feel burned out. So, if your leadership team is pushing AI adoption hard, but your project team is getting quieter, more reactive, and less willing to speak up, that's maybe not resistance. Maybe that's a psychological safety problem. Today I'm sharing 3 grounded practices you might want to experiment with to help protect your team while staying real about what they can actually handle. So practice number 1 is name the problem. It always helps when you name the problem. And this problem is the gap between what AI promises and what your team is experiencing. The Australian Psychological Society has warned that without strong safeguards, rapid AI rollout risks loss of staff trust, increased safety breaches, and worsening mental health. That's not fear-mongering. That's workplace psychologists watching this play out in real time. Here's what that looks like, or might look like. Your sponsor says, AI will accelerate our delivery. And at the same time, your team is spending evenings learning prompts, reworking outputs, and doing QA work that nobody scoped. But no one's saying anything because they don't want to look slow or anti-innovation or anti-AI. Here's a real example. In our team, we've been experimenting with AI for document creation. Sometimes it's genuinely helpful. It gives us a strong starting framework faster than we get there on our own. But sometimes it creates new and different work. You get a hand on one thing and then you have something else to do on the other side. So the formatting's wrong, the assumptions are off, or it's made stuff up. Consider this experiment. Here's something I'm considering building into our regular checkpoints. So to ask the question, AI, what's helping and what's just adding noise? Here's a useful tip for prompt creation. I've added this sentence into the instructions. Don't make stuff up. If you don't know something, put a placeholder in the document and make a note of what information is required. Practice 2. Make it safe to say, I'm not sure, or is this right? AI adoption is behaviour change, not just a software install. When people feel they have to look competent all the time, they stop asking questions. That's when errors and quiet disengagement creep in. I sat next to a woman on a plane who dropped a letter from Telstra into her AI assistant and asked it what the letter meant. She didn't even read it. Now, Telstra should probably write better letters. Agreed. But this is where we are. People are using AI to figure out stuff that they don't know or don't understand, and they're trusting it without question. Here's what happens in projects. A team member notices an AI-generated summary is subtly wrong. The tone's off, a dependency is missing, but they don't challenge it because everyone else is treating AI like the new standard. Consider this experiment. In your checkpoint meetings, ask what feels unclear or risky that we're not naming. And then the important step next is to protect the people who speak up by not blaming them. That's how you build safety, one honest answer at a time. Practice number 3, and this is one that I'm really keen to try and push hard this year for myself, is pairing every AI activity with a stop doing decision. The APS notes that hasty adoption can erode performance and disengage workers even when the intent is efficiency. And here's the brutal truth about that. If you introduce AI but remove nothing else, then you haven't improved. You've just increased cognitive and other workload. AI gets introduced but nothing gets removed. Meetings stay the same, reporting stays the same, and now the team also has to learn how to craft good prompts review outputs properly, and figure out what to trust. The finish line just keeps moving. Here's what I mean. We used an AI assistant to create first drafts of test scripts. It was really helpful, but only after we invested time to understand the correct input to get a useful output. Otherwise, we would have been spending just as much time rewriting everything the AI produced. That's not really time saved, that's time shifted. Consider this experiment. Pairing every new AI activity with a stop doing kind of decision or task. This is how we're trying to look at AI, that it's only helpful if it means we can let go of something or come to the task as 80% done and just requiring the finishing touches from a PM. One report, one meeting, one manual step you will actually remove. If you're working in an organisation, then getting leadership to explicitly approve that trade-off sees the benefit of using the tool. That's how you start to protect capacity without pretending humans have infinite bandwidth. So if AI adoption is happening at speed, and it is, then psychological safety is your delivery advantage, not a fluffy extra. Your job is to name the gap between the promise and reality, to make it safe to challenge AI outputs, and to protect capacity with real trade-offs so that your team can keep thinking and not just coping. If this resonates and you want support to lead this well, book an introductory call and join Momentum for PMs. It's built for project leaders doing hard change without losing their humans in the process.